Hello, welcome to Spiritual Wanderlust, my concerto recital for my DMA requirements at the Catholic University of America. Before you embark on this musical journey, allow me to explain a little bit about each piece you are about to hear. The first piece is Morton Lauritsen's O Magnum Mysterium. This was composed in 1997 for the LA Master Chorale. It depicts the images of the birth of Christ and the animals that came to visit him. This piece was later adapted for violin and orchestra for violinist Anna Kiko Myers at her request. She had reached out to the composer asking for a violin version of this piece. He first of all declined, saying he was too busy. He later heard her perform in concert and later reached out with this version of the piece. I have adapted this rendition for viola, and I think it works quite well. The second piece is Margaret Brower's Viola Concerto. This was written for the Dallas Symphony Orchestra to be performed by their principal violist, Ellen Rose. It was premiered in January of 2010. I had the great fortune of actually attending this world premiere. I had a friend that studied with Ellen Rose, and so we went to the concert together, and I myself later studied with the associate principal of the orchestra, Barbara Sudweeks. The piece is in a three-movement structure. The first movement, Caritas, borrows from the Gregorian chant Ubi Caritas and is used as a plot point throughout the piece. The violist begins very angry and angsty and is later calmed by the orchestra using the words of the chant, "With charity and love there is God." It sets the tone for this journey that the violist goes on and later is calm by the end of the movement. The chant itself is actually quoted in the finale of the movement. The second movement, Fair as the Moon, Bright as the Sun, borrows from the Bible's Song of Songs, and it is actually a love song. I think it is not just a love song between two people, but is a love song for one's sense of self. The third movement, Blithesome Spirit, is all about fun and freedom and the various different sounds that the viola can make. The third piece is Ernest Bloch's Suite for Viola and Orchestra. This piece was composed in 1919 and garnered first prize in the Berkshire Composition Competition. It actually beat out Rebecca Clark's Viola Sonata, which was another famous piece for the instrument. It is in a four-movement structure, each movement depicting a various scene of the Far East Islands of Java, Borneo, and Sumatra. While he himself had not been to these islands, he had actually envisioned what these could be through his music. While he is predominantly known for his Jewish works, he doesn't consider this piece to be a Jewish work, but the writing language may say otherwise. The final piece is Hum Dekenge, written by Pakistani poet Faiz Ahmad Faiz. This piece was used as a form of protest, and its most famous version of it was performed by Iqbal Bano. During a time in the rule of Ziaul Haq, women were not allowed to partake in arts publicly, nor were they allowed to wear saris. So Iqbal Bano took it onto herself to perform in Lahore, Pakistan, in front of an audience of 50,000 people wearing a black sari on February 13th, 1986. I composed a version of this piece for viola and orchestra that was performed in San Francisco earlier this year. And with the help of my collaborator, Stephen Edward Salto, we have adapted it for viola and piano as well. I hope you enjoyed the musical journey of Spiritual Wanderlust. Thank you.